but I think it's a really interesting way to tell the story. I definitely want to record or stream the rest of the game, like I said, when I'm finishing it. Hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Joycelyn, your player one, and today in the house we've got Nuts by Joon, Muutsch, Char, and Torfi, and it is a single-player walking simulator, and the genre is mystery. A short premise of the game is gear up your research caravan, boot up your GPS, spread out your map, and head for the depths of Melmoth Forest. As a rookie field researcher, you'll place cameras during the day and watch the footage at night, tracking the movements of a scurry of squirrels. Where do they hide their nuts? What puzzling routes do they take? And why do they behave so strangely? And there's no content warnings for the game, and it costs $19.99 on Steam. I believe I bought it on sale for about maybe $7 or $8, but I'm not sure. And it's on Steam, like I said, for Windows and Mac. It took me. I didn't finish the game. I played for about an hour and a half. Steam says I played for 101 minutes. I didn't finish the game, but I was recording it, and it will be posted for the Patreon users soon, sometime after this episode comes out. And I may stream or record the rest of it, so stay tuned for that. I would recommend turning on post notifications for the YouTube channel and supporting the Patreon if I end up actually recording it and not streaming it, if you would like to see my gameplay. It was very, very fun, which is why I'm considering continuing playing it, because I only got through about 2 chapters of the game. According to the game, I got through 30% of it. So, like I said, it's pretty easy. The first chapter is basically the tutorial, so I pretty much only played 1 chapter, if you don't count the tutorial chapter. But the first chapter, I don't know where the chapters end, so I might be completely wrong about this, but I believe the first chapter was up until you start looking for the first squirrel. Because every chapter, I assume you're looking for a different squirrel. But I only played the first 2 chapters, and the gameplay is very simple, it's very easy. I'm not sure if it gets harder as you go on, but that's what I saw, and it took me like an hour to do it, so I wasn't gonna play the game all day, because I'm a college kid, I have a whole bunch of stuff to do. But I really enjoyed the simple gameplay. I thought it was really nice that it was simple. And I do also wish the tutorial on the screen where it tells you what button to press to do certain things, I wish that was bigger. The UI, I just wish it was a little bit bigger, because I have bad eyes, so it was kind of hard for me to read it. I very much appreciated the simple gameplay because the visuals are so good. So good. It's so pretty. This entire game is so pretty. I really like the forest. I also really, really enjoy the colors. So every day is 2 different colors and they contrast each other. And it's really pretty. I really love it. I like that they change every day. I like the contrasting colors. I just love the whole thing. And I also like that so much emphasis was put on the visuals, especially in a game that includes recording and taking pictures. and that's like basically the whole game. It's very important, and I like that the visuals were emphasized. I also really wish that my Mac could handle the game better. But it wasn't super bad. Like, it was playable, it was recordable. So like if I wasn't recording the game, it would be better. And also I turned down the graphics a lot. If you have a gaming PC or like a gaming laptop or just any computer that is better than a Mac, then you probably will be fine, and you'll be able to see like the extent of the graphics, because I loved it, and I'm playing on a computer that can't handle them, you know. So like if I loved it, then you'll definitely love them too. The sound effects are perfect, honestly. They make so much sense walking around in the forest, all of the sound effects. There's birds, of course there's squirrels, but the music was kind of quiet, and I kind of wished there was more emphasis on the music throughout the game. Because like in the very beginning of the game, there was kind of an emphasis on the music. Like it would change when you were doing different things. But like throughout the game, I kind of tuned it out, and it kind of just was the same for me. The voice acting, both in the tapes and like over the phone, they're both really good. Like all of the audio for this game is very good. I also really loved the story. I think that this is a very interesting way to tell a story, by like having you walk through the motions that the other character has done, basically, because the story is that there was a researcher before you that went and did the same project, and they're doing it because a company is trying to take over the area or something like that. But I think it's a really interesting way to tell the story. I definitely want to record or stream those of the game, like I said, when I'm finishing it. It probably won't be for a while, since I'm like starting up college and stuff, but when I do, you'll want to be ready for that. I think the tapes are probably the most interesting part of the story to me, because they're left in very interesting places. I'll say that. I don't want to give too much stuff away. I guess my favorite part is the visuals and how they pair with the story. I really, really love story games, but usually developers of story games focus on one part of the game, like the story, or if it's a visual heavy game, the developers focus on the visuals, and if it's like an FPS or something, they'll focus on the gameplay. And then, like, if it's a game about music, then they'll focus on the music, like things like that. Like, developers will focus on one part, but not all of it or multiple parts. And I really like that this game focuses on pretty much everything. I feel like there could have been a little bit more focus on gameplay and music, but like, honestly, it doesn't really matter, because the other parts of the game are so good. And then I don't have a least favorite part. I think this game is like pretty much perfect. It did say that it was going to be a thriller, like I said before, the genre. Oh, well, I guess, no, it says mystery, but I thought it was thriller. But also, I mean, it does say that it's going to be a mystery, but I don't know where the mystery comes in yet. To be fair, there are 5 chapters, I believe, and I'm only on chapter 2. Well, I finished chapter 2, so I don't know. Well, I think, am I on chapter 2 or I didn't finish it? I'm not sure. It's not clear where I am in the game, but I'm 30% into the game, so it may come later in the game. That's what I was going to say about the thriller thing. I used the wrong word. It's definitely mystery, but I don't know when that like becomes a part of the game. But I definitely do recommend this game. It was very fun to play, and I didn't realize I had been playing it for over 30 minutes when I like stopped to record. And I mean, it's a shame that I couldn't play the whole thing like right now in one sitting, but I'm a busy college student, so I definitely do want to record or stream the rest of it at some point, like I keep saying, because the story is so interesting and I really want to finish this game. And this game is like very, very story and visual based. So if you like FPS games and stuff that's like fast paced, you may not enjoy this game as much. But I still recommend playing it. This game is very calming, honestly. It's pretty good. I really enjoyed it. So for my final rating of Nuts by Joon, Muutsch, Char, and Torfi, I give it a 9 tokens out of 10. Great job! Thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Indie House. Be sure to rate the episode and let me know your thoughts. I've got a Discord server called Indie House Official, which would be a great place to give your feedback, talk to me, my collaborators, or other listeners of the show. If you have any indie game suggestions, feel free to comment below or hit me up at indiehouse_pod on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag IndieHouseGaming. And if you would like to support the podcast and get some cool extra content, you can find the Patreon in the card. It's definitely also, if I do record the rest of this game, and the recording that I did of this game will be going on the Patreon, and you can have access to them under level 2 and level 3. Yeah, so support the podcast on the Patreon, and catch us next week on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. See y'all on the next level. Bye!